Hey everybody, happy hump day, happy therapy day. I have a guest on again today, so I'm super excited about that. A great guest, as you see from the thumbnail, and somebody who I've been actually wanting to get on for a while, but even prior to what we're going to talk about today, when they were actually transitioned and living as a woman. So it's going to be really exciting to get the story of why this person chose to go back to living as a man. So with that, thanks everybody for showing up. Thanks for supporting the channel. I got people after me, just so you know. I got the trans activists trying to shut this channel down. So I just want you to know that I cannot do this stuff without you all. I can't really create this space for us to have these great conversations without the support of you and the support of this channel. And it's just kind of sad to me that trans has become such a militant. It's militant. It's a militant, deranged space on some level. So I don't know if it's my language that is getting them upset because I drop a f bomb here or there, but I go to other channels and everyone's dropping the f bomb and the whatever bomb and all kinds of stuff. So I'm really kind of I'm a little like not understanding what it is I'm doing that is making me be a target of YouTube. But is to me, it's got to be the activists. There's no way. So before I keep getting deeper into the hole here, I'm gonna pull back up. And if you're new to the channel, thanks for joining us. And if you are a member of the channel or you've been here for a long time, you know that I like to call you out from where you're from. So I'm just going to scroll back up and I'm going to start with Finland here. And then you all tell me where you're from. I'm going to shout you out. We're going to show you what an amazing community that we have made. And it's going to just be an amazing day because we have a lot going on here. So with that, hey, Lenny. So we got Lenny from Finland's in the house. I love that Finland is in the house. That's so awesome. We got West Virginia, where my mom's from, England. Let's go Poland, Toronto, Arizona. La 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 la. If I missed you, Idaho, Netherlands, Illinois, Israel in the house, Canada, Pittsburgh, London, Massachusetts, DC, West Virginia, Ontario. Oregon, Cali, America. Right now, we got America in the house. Toronto, Vermont, Wales, New Jersey, Wisconsin, Texas, New York. See, I told you guys. We got Maine in the house. Barstow in the house. We got Manchester. It's so awesome. I'm telling you, we got that whole. If I missed you, just say it again and I'll get you. Vermont, Pennsylvania, San Antonio, PNW. I don't really even know what that is, but South Carolina, East Texas, New Mexico, and Northern California. And if I missed you, just put up there and I'll call you out again. But we got a diverse. If you're new to this channel, I'm telling you, you will be blown away by the diversity of this channel of our. I call it our therapy sessions, and in a way, I call it that because we love to converse with each other here. And Florida's in the house, and I don't discourage you to have a different opinion. Have a different opinion. It's extremely important for this channel and this chat that we do every Wednesday to have a diversity in thought and a diversity in opinion. Just because I believe one way does not mean that I discount how you believe. And I think what I'm trying to get across to all of you here is that we're supposed to have diverse opinions and we're supposed to be able to have conversation. I say it every single week, yet here I am getting demonetized again. Here I am getting reported again. Here I am an actual transsexual of 32 years. And it just blows my mind that YouTube doesn't seem to understand that. And I continually get called out and reported. And so before I move forward, I want to tell you this. I posted something on my community board, and if you all can like it, it'll get more eyes on it. But I showed you the 3 videos that were demonetized just recently. The latest one called Delusional, pushing back on that talk show guy. And then other 2 were one about an interview with a dad whose ex-wife was transitioning their child. And then the other one was talking about trans wives, right? Those are the 3 that just... One had been up for a month, okay? I don't know if you know this, but when you make a video, it has to go, and if you monetize your video, it has to go through a YouTube system, okay? It has to go through a system. It doesn't just get monetized. They have to look at it, make sure it has no copyright issues, and that it meets the community standards. So here's my question to all of you, okay? I don't know if you can answer it, but I just want to place this out there. This one video has been up for a month, right? And all of a sudden, after a month, and like over 80,000 views, it got demonetized. I'm like, but wait a minute, it already went through the monetization channel, right? Like it already went through the eyes of the I don't understand it. Hey, Pepper, thank you, friend. Thank you a lot, friend. Buck, they're trying to silence you by demonetizing me. That's right. That's exactly right. And you're not going to silence me. I told you that. I told you. I'm not taking the videos down. I'll figure out other ways to create finances, because clearly I need to make money in order to do this. But at the same time, I'm not going to just rely on that. And I'm not going to change my integrity here. I'm not here just to make money. It helps. I will never tell you it doesn't help. It helps me live and pay my bills and do all those things. But I will not take my videos down. I refuse to be pushed. And I'm not that kind of person, okay? I got this far because I really believe in what I'm standing for here, okay? I've been getting kicked in my balls for a long time here. And it's like, no, you're not going to keep telling me that. So that being said, don't you all think it's weird that this video, this one, has been up for a month, okay? A month. And it went through the monetization system, and then now all of a sudden they're demonetizing it? How? That's what I literally do not understand. Hey, XR Marty, thank you, friend. Quick question. I've been trying to find the video of you responding to Kyle, but now I can't find it. No, it didn't get pulled. It's still there. It's literally like one or two of the latest. Hey, Ann or Lisa or the moderators, thank you to them, everybody. Thank you to them. They've been really great moderators. If you guys can go find that video, because I just saw it. And if you can just put the link here in the chat so that XR can watch it. You know, maybe I got a little rough with the dude, but I didn't say anything that nobody else is saying, pushing against him. Right? I didn't say anything. Also, why can't I? Isn't that what it's all about? Isn't that what commentary is and reaction videos? It's like you're allowed to have commentary and reaction against what other people are saying. That dude is not trans, and he is telling me what trans is. Ain't happening, dude. So, thanks for becoming a member. Thanks so much, Sabrina. I appreciate that. So, can you get that for XR? Or, yeah, thank you, guys. I appreciate that. So, it's out there, dude, but I just can't. They're going to get the link for you. So, anyway, my question to you guys is, how is it possible, once it goes through the monetization system, how is it possible that all of a sudden now it gets demonetized after a month later? I personally don't understand that, because I already was given the thumbs up, right? I was given the thumbs up. The thing has been up there for a month, and now all of a sudden it's getting like demoted and demonetized. 3 of them. It just seems like a target. Hey, Pepper, you are showing that some things are more important than money. It's true. It is. I'll figure it out. Like, I will. I promise you I'll figure it out. But it's just a shame. It's a shame. But see, that's why I won't take it down, because I don't believe that I'm going to play that game. They're basically going like this to me. We're not going to pay you anymore. So basically you're just doing it for money. And no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not just doing it for money. I'm doing it because I believe in saving children and women's spaces. And then the one last thing I want to tell you here is this. Thank you, Sabrina. The one last thing I want to tell you is this. So I put that community post up, and then some trans woman who's a troll on my channel, I shouldn't have reported the thing. I should have taken a screen cap of it first, but it made me so mad. Hey, Croatia, thanks for being here. This trans woman who's trolling my site, okay, that trans woman wrote, this is what they wrote when I said I got demonetized. And you tell me if this person didn't just spill the beans. They said, well, maybe you should stop blaming everything on trans women. That's what they said. That says to me that you just proved my case. You just proved it's probably Blossom, but I didn't say it was. You just proved my case. What do you mean blaming trans women? I'm not blaming anybody but the trans activists. And if the yeah, did you see that comment? I'm so bummed, Bumba, that I didn't take a screen cap of it. But that person just admitted that they are reporting me because they think I'm blaming, right? But I'm blaming. Stop trolling Blossom. I don't even know what that means. Honestly, I don't. What does that mean, Bree? Who's trolling Blossom? I think Blossom is the one trolling us. No, I think they deleted it. If you can find it, Bamba, that would be excellent. But I think when I reported it, it sort of took it out or something. So anyway, that's kind of like what I wanted to start today off with, and it's um Bree, it's all good. That's why I knew that's what you meant. I see you here every week. So let me just get the fits here, and then we're gonna wait for Nisa to come, and then we're gonna have an awesome conversation, you guys. Thanks, the fits. A cigar channel I follow does live streams on YouTube, but after some time they do an after party on Rumble. Yes, I have thought about going on Rumble. I have, and I've also thought, what do you guys think about me starting a what's it called, a chant? What's that site called where you guys can support me and I could put the videos under free, and then you just pay a little membership price, and or maybe I should just start putting all my videos that get demonetized onto the member section only, right? Because you guys are already sort of paying extra. Patreon, thank you, but maybe I should just make them for members only, right? Because you guys are already supporting my channel financially. But why have you here? And I see Neeza, so I'm gonna bring her up real quick. Just put this in your ear, okay? I want all my members here to put this in their ear. I'm going to start doing a members only live. Maybe, I'm not sure if I can do it once a week or at least every other week, maybe. But I just want to ask you if a Saturday morning would be good for all my members. So just put that in your ear and think about it. And then I'll put a thing up there, okay? And then we can just see a poll, which is the best day for all of you. But a Saturday morning live would work the best for myself, okay? If you don't, I don't want any of you to feel like I'm shaming you if you're not a member. I am not. Money is difficult these days. Everyone has hard times, okay? I very much appreciate my members, okay? Like, look at this, 13 months a member, right on. But in no way, shape, or form are you not loved and respected by not being able to financially support. We all got families and food and bills and all kinds of stuff. So that's all I want to say. Okay. So with that, know I love you guys a lot. I'm going to continue to do what I do. They are not going to demonetize me. It is not. Thanks for right on. Thanks for gifting a membership, Jim's girl. Thanks so much. And so I want to bring up, here, hold on one second here. Let me just get this. Sounds to me like it's the crazies. It is the crazies. There's just no doubt. They're mad at me because they don't like what I'm saying. Okay, thanks for gifting another membership, Shannon. Okay, so here, I'm going to bring up Nissa. Here, one second. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, friend. Here we go. Too late now.
How you doing, Buck?
Is it Neeza?
It's Neeza, yeah. It's short for Ebenezer, like Ebenezer Scrooge. Yeah.
I love that's your actual full name.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a mouthful.
No way, man. I love it. I love that you have this awesome, different kind of name. That's so cool. Yeah. Wow.
It's good to finally see you.
I know. Like, so let's just get right into this. Thank you. First off, thanks so much for joining us today. It means a lot to me that you're willing to have the conversation. I know it's not easy for you. Right.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to do it. And, you weren't the first person to invite me on, and I really have been choosy with who I speak with because I think it's important to speak through the right channels, because I want people to realize that if they do feel like there's something off, there's no shame in admitting that you were wrong and detransitioning. And if I don't do it through the right channels, then it's going to come off as, hey, this is just another lunatic Republican telling me I can't be trans. So I need to pick those people that are just trying to spread truth. And I feel like you're one of those people.
Oh, man. You see, I just have to say to everybody out there, first off, just thanks for being here and thanks for supporting Nisa a lot. And, this is to me building bridges. Whatever happened, we're going to get into it here. But, I have a lot of love in my heart for you. And I always have because you always have been very um, straight up honest about being a male and the sports
Yeah,
thing. And I just connected with you immediately. And, so however your journey is going right now, it's your journey. And
yeah,
and people need to shut up because it's your journey. They love to say that, right? Until the journey
yeah,
isn't going the way their journey is going. It's just pathetic,
exactly.
dude. It's pathetic. Um, so thank you, and I feel very connected to you. I do. It's
Yeah.
very strange how we never met each other, but there was always this sort of connection I felt with you. So
Yeah, I said that to you in the chat. I was like, I feel like watching your videos, and I was like, I feel like I know this guy, and I've never spoken with you at all, ever.
I know it's kind of weird. It's like I feel like I know you. It's,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that
it's
really
good that
speaks
we're friends.
volumes to
Our
connection through
content,
the
and I think that,
universe.
yeah, I think that people that make content just for the sake of making it don't get to have that connection. I'm sure all
That's
of your
right.
viewers feel the
That's right.
same way. They feel like they know you. So if they saw you on the street,
Yes.
they'd be like, I know Buck. It's because you're shooting from the heart. You're not trying to make things
Thank you.
just for clicks, and it comes
Thank you.
through.
Oh, that's so sweet. I do. God, it's crazy. As my channel grows, more and more people see me like just walking my dog or out. But nope, I'm not. I'm not scared because everyone's so cool with me. They're like, "Hey, I'm a fan. I'm a member of your website, or I'm a fan." I'm just like, "Whoa, that's like actually out of left field and weird."
I
But thank
love
you for
that.
saying that. Like I said before, I think you were listening. My videos continue to get demonetized on this platform, even after being up for a month or something. It's shameful and gross. But I'm not taking my stuff down. I
Good.
refuse. Money's great. We all love money, but it should never be the end all be all of your existence in doing this type of work. I think, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I experience that on TikTok sometimes. Is like, oh, I said something wrong, so this video doesn't make anything anymore. So I get where you're coming from, and if you're trying to make a living, even a small living out of it, it's
Yes.
extremely difficult.
It is. You have to really, and I think you do have to remove your integrity to make millions of dollars on these platforms. And I refuse. It's just not going to happen. It's just not. I will always figure out a way to survive. I always have, and I always will. And my
Yeah,
integrity means more to me than a million. I'll be honest with $1 million. I would never sell my integrity, even for $1 million. I wouldn't because and also, I think that comes with age. I think you just sort of get into a space where you're like, it just money isn't everything. When you're 20, you think $1 million is like everything. When you get to be
yeah.
60, you're like, who cares?
It's funny you're saying that. I had a TikTok live, and I said the same thing. If someone would give me that mansion or the Porsche I've always wanted, and said I would need to continue living the lie as a trans woman, I wouldn't do it. Like,
Right on.
I'm ready to live the rest of my life happy and healthy, and that's all I
Yes.
want to do.
I mean, you look really great.
Thank you.
It's so great. You just came out of that space. Let's pull back a little bit here. So
Yeah.
I saw you on the internet, on TikTok, I think it was first. And you just immediately came to me when you were talking about sports and how you would never compete in women's sports and you don't believe that. And everything I believe with everything. And I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, a trans woman with brains. I was like- and
There's a
then
few. There was a few. There is still a
yeah,
few.
there is 100%, 100%, but not nearly enough. So then I was just like zoned in on you. I think we had a couple chats, but you were just really zooming in on that and really doing a great job. And
Yeah.
then, literally out of left field, I think I saw your Instagram, and then you said something like, "I am cured of transgenderism," and I was like,
Yes.
"What?" So let's
Yeah.
start there. I think.
Yeah, yeah, it's wild. Since I was 17, a 17-year-old boy, I was told that I wouldn't be able to find happiness or other people wouldn't love me as a boy and later as a
Mm,
man. So
mm,
I went down that path for 12 years,
mm,
and I moved to northern Vermont in the middle of nowhere,
mm,
and I started getting outside every day. I started leaving my phone at home and
mm,
just connecting with myself, and some of those lies that were told about who I was started to surface, and was like, wait, you're telling me I could have long hair and still be a happy guy? Wait, are you telling me that I can dress however I want and still be comfortable with
Wow.
being a man? And I'm getting goosebumps now thinking about it, because when those things started to come front and center to me, I was like, holy shit, I have been lied to my entire life. And when I realized I could be happy with myself as a
Mm,
man,
mm,
I didn't really care about everybody else. They
mm.
would come. You know, I
Yeah.
lost a bunch of friends that were trans, obviously.
Mm, mm.
But yeah, I woke up after that 12-year stint of trying to wake up every day and be a woman, and I'm so happy I'm here to be able to tell the story as 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 clear as I can.
What was it? What was it that first got you? So 12 years of, so you were 12
Yeah.
years transition. That's a long time. What was the thing that it is? What was the thing that started you to feel like you were needing to transition?
Yeah, you know, I was a very feminine boy.
Mm,
I was a dancer, a cheerleader. I was a gay kid in high school,
great.
you know.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I was gay. I was very
Okay.
very feminine, you know, and
Okay.
all my friends were girls, and
Yeah.
you know, I was bullied incessantly. You can imagine 17, 18-year-old boys in high school seeing this
Totally.
little fruity 15-year-old guy running around like, I don't want him in my school.
That's right.
So yeah, I was thrown into trash cans, kicked downstairs,
Yeah.
spit on, you know, everything you can think of,
No.
bullied. And I was like, I need to get out of this. And
Wow.
it seemed like um, maybe identifying as something else was the answer, not
Mm,
waiting for society to catch up. Like,
mm.
bullies will leave. Well, maybe not. You have bullies now. I have bullies. you you
Nah.
know, but you know, those stupid bullies, those high school bullies, they will leave. Okay, but
Yes.
you know, society is gonna, you're gonna get your friend group. People will respect your authenticity somewhere.
Yes.
You don't need to change yourself. But
Yes.
I was confused to think that this was the ticket out.
Mm. I mean,
And
gosh, do you
yeah,
know your story? I don't mean to cut you off. I was going to say, do you know your story is so many people's story? It's that feminine masculine thing, right?
yeah,
All
we
of a
all have
sudden,
it.
we all have it. And all of a sudden, because you're like me, a masculine female, I thought all the time, I never thought I was a boy. Let me just get that clear. I just felt like I wanted to be a boy, or I wanted to be with the boys, or because of this that made me have to be with the boys. And I think masculine women, in my opinion, in my own experience, I think they have it less harsh than a feminine male. What do you
Yeah.
think? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
less harsh. I don't know. Name me another equivalent of tomboy other than like fairy or Fruit Loop. You know, I think tomboy isn't as degrading as something
That's
like,
right.
you
There
know,
you go.
uh, I think it has it right there. I think tomboys, obviously, we need to make that idea not negative, and girls should be able to be as masculine as they want to be.
That's right.
But
That's right.
I do think that boys have it harder.
Yeah,
Feminine boys,
yeah,
you know, I
totally.
mean, now I don't know many feminine boys that aren't trying to be women, which sucks.
That's
You know,
right.
because I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to
That's right.
maybe tip the scales of feminine and masculine if you're a man.
Ah,
I think that's a beautiful thing. Why not embrace
it's
it?
because we're being told. We've always been told. I'm 62, Nisa. I've been around the block a million times, right? I come from a space that stereotypes were really ingrained and very
Yeah.
much ingrained. Then I went through my butch lesbian period where we were fighting against, all the stereotypes, and really through my feminism and through fighting for women's rights and butch women are women. I went through it all. And I thought we got rid of stereotypes. To me, the trans agenda, which is different than me, by the way, I don't align with any of that, is it feels that it is actually reinstating stereotypes that
We're moving backwards 100%. I
it's
mean, in
crazy.
the 60s, if you saw a guy like me with long hair, you'd be like, okay,
Yeah,
that's kind of cool. He probably likes the same music as I do. But now if
totally.
I go on TikTok live, they see someone, a guy with long hair, oh, that's somebody trying to be a woman.
Oh my
What?
God, dude. I mean, you look like a 70s rock star. You literally look like that. I grew up with guys that look like you. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's bizarre, but it's also insanely sad and dangerous. It is
Yeah.
dangerous what we are doing. So here you are 12 years living.
Yeah.
Tell me about the 12 years. Did you feel happy? Did you have like ups and downs, rethinking stuff?
Sure. I thought I was happy. I'm sure that, I experienced happiness graduating college, getting a job, making friends, doing this.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
that's real happiness. But when it comes
Sure.
to like my actual inner self, my being, like who I am, was I really happy waking up every
Mm.
day, looking in the mirror saying, who
Mm.
can I fool the best
Oh,
today? Can I
wow.
fool myself hard enough that the guy at the grocery store is going to call me ma'am? And is that going to happen? And like I mean, I'm sure you've talked to trans people that it's just like it's suffocating. It sucks to try and further that lie every
Yes.
single day, day in and I'm like,
Yes.
what's the whole purpose if every day I'm just trying to confuse myself and everybody else enough? So,
Sure.
yeah, when I got out into the middle of nowhere, I'm like, well, there's no one to confuse out here. I'm just out here in the mountains, like now I can actually find out who I am, and it turns
Wow.
out I'm just a feminine guy.
See, that's a very powerful statement. It actually gave me a little bit of chills because you make such a great point right there. And I hope a lot of parents are listening today, or when they do listen, this is so important because they might miss what you just said. Once you got out in the wilderness or in nature
Yeah.
or wherever you were, away from all of this stuff, it opened up something for you to say, hey, wait a minute, I don't have to do this because on some level, I'm hearing some of what you were doing was for other people. And because maybe
Yeah.
you weren't comfortable with yourself, I'm no therapist, I'm not that, but living in this space for a long time and never feeling like you, by the way, that like never feeling like I'm making this thing for everyone else, always feeling extremely happy in my transition. It literally figuratively changed my life in a positive way. But that being said, you actually got some clarity around it in a place where you weren't being inundated by the trans community or the internet or just your own self worth. And then
Yeah.
that's why I tell parents all the time, Nisa, that they should get their kids out of here into some kind of camp somewhere in the wilderness. No, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Like away from LGBTQIA pee pee poo poo nonsense, dude. And then just riding horses, nature, running, right? Sports. What I'm telling you, they're going to come out of being trans.
Yeah, the first thing I tell parents, they reach out on TikTok or Instagram. They're like, "Hey, my daughter thinks she's a man," or blah blah
Wow.
blah. I go,
Wow.
"When's the last time she was away from her phone, stood outside barefoot and
Yeah.
played outside?" The
Yeah.
answer is always, "I don't know" or "never."
Oh,
So, if
wow.
if you don't know the last time your kid ran out in the woods or had
Yeah.
fun, got
Yeah.
dirty playing outside,
Yeah.
there's a problem. Like,
Oh,
take the phones away, take the Discord groups away, and
right on.
stand on the earth and just
That's
ground
right.
yourself for a minute. I encourage all families, like, take your kids on a camping trip
Yes.
somewhere where no service. Like,
Yes.
make a damn bonfire and have a good time.
I love it. You said no service. Let's make a camp. I think I'm going to talk to you about. I'm not even kidding, friend. We should create a camp and call it no service.
I
And we
love
should
that.
seriously, a person like yourself, a person like me who has it worked out, but I'm an adult against children doing this, right? And I do think that they need some space to go to where they feel loved, accepted. It's okay that you feel this way, but you're not this way. Like we need to start pushing back on these kids and being like, no, you aren't. Actually, you're not trans. You are not
Yeah.
trans. You are just maybe struggling. And if you are trans, you'll figure it out when you're 25 or 30, right? It's just,
Yeah.
I'm just blown away that there isn't there someone said in the chat that there is a space like this, but there isn't a space like this. There is not. There's not a space where somebody who detransition, some trans people who are adults, live this way for a long time, who are willing to push back on these children, but
Yeah.
not in a harmful, ugly, mean way. In a
No,
hugging, loving, you're awesome, you're powerful. Let's like,
it's
yeah,
it's important to like further a little tough love. I think that
bam.
not, there was one friend that entire 12 years that never sacrificed his reality for my delusions about myself, and that was
Mm,
so important for me because I hated him during those 12 years. I'm like, why does
Totally.
this dude keep calling me Ebenezer? Why does he never say she? I hate this guy. Like, I absolutely hate him. But he was a good friend of mine growing up, and but he was so instrumental
Yeah.
in me never slipping past that point of no return. But I
Yeah.
think that, kids need to realize, if you ask them, why do you feel like you're trans?
Yes.
If the answer is, well, I can't wear this pink shirt, or I can't wear cut off jeans or something,
Yeah.
there's a problem, because gender doesn't have fashion doesn't have a gender.
That's right.
Right? Like, wear whatever the hell you want. Is the answer you don't think that, you're a boy because you want to have long hair? That's a problem. You can have whatever hair you want. We have to realize, what is the root cause. Are you being bullied at school? Okay, let's fix that. Do we need to figure out a way for you to get empowered in your school life, or maybe change schools or change friends group? Like, there are so many ways beyond harming yourself when you're a child.
And how do you mind me asking how old you are when you started your transition?
16, 17.
Oh, look at me.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Did you start hormones at that age?
So it's funny. I have quite a story about that. I had seen a psychiatrist, prescribed me puberty blockers, did this whole thing. And my parents were obviously on board after a professional said, like, look, your son is dealing with this. But
wow.
So before I went to this, the answer is, I never took puberty blockers or hormones during those years to a degree that would cause me to not be able to detransition safely now.
Right,
but the thing is like, before I started seeing these therapists, I would to escape that bullying, I would go to these parties in high school, dressed as Nicole, who I was, and I was finding acceptance. I was like pretty damn good at doing this whole cross-dressing thing, right? And I would go to these parties, and I was like, look, I got all these friends now. They think that I'm Nicole from this other school. And so when I finally did hear that psychiatrist and doctors and everything later down the road saying, like, look, you need to start this puberty blocking thing, blah, 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 I would lie to my family. I'd lie to my friends. Yeah, I'm taking it. Yeah, I'm doing this. Yeah, I'm doing that. But in reality, I was just getting real good at this character. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm very proud that I was able to stave away those harmful suggestions. But it still doesn't negate the fact that for 12 years I lied to myself every day and thought I was born in the wrong body. Those sort of mental things can have physical impacts too, and I'm still recovering from a lot of that.
Well, I mean, you basically just kind of, do I use the word detransition? I don't even know. You just got out of your
I deprogrammed.
Deprogrammed. Great. I love that. I love that. Yeah.
But it's still, I changed all these legal documents. I did all this, so that's still a pain in the ass.
Totally.
To do. Totally. And also it's a pain in the ass to admit you were wrong, to, like, especially your family, like, dad, mom, like, I'm actually not. Stop calling me Nicole. Stop doing this. Like, it sucks. It's embarrassing. So I'm still having to deal with that.
Don't be embarrassed. I think it takes a huge amount of integrity and really powerful what you're doing. And, I get what you're saying, and I can only imagine how difficult that is after you trained your parents. Because I did the same. I trained my parents not to call me she, and they call me he, and they call me their son, and I'm not their daughter anymore. And I don't freak out on the girl name at all. Like, even my mom sometimes, she gets really weird when she's going to use it. I'm like, just say it. Who cares? Like, that was me growing up. I'm not dead. I'm just not that person. But that being said, I totally can understand how mentally and physically on some level that's got to be very rough for you, because you sort of spent all this time training, and now you're like, whoops, I trained them the wrong way, and now I have to sort of deprogram your parents as well.
Yeah, I think in that, I have a whole box of I still have puberty blockers and hormones still in this Tupperware thing, from those 12 years. And I think there were maybe stints of a couple weeks at a time that I had taken estrogen and things like that, and I kind of would feel heightened anxiety when I was taking that, and I was like, this isn't for me. There's something off here. So luckily I was smart enough not to like continue on because if I ever did wake up to how I am now, then it
Yeah,
would have been a
yeah.
lot harder.
Oh, sure. I mean, it's
Yeah.
already hard enough. I can't even. But so is there a part where you just said, I'm done? Was there a day you woke up and your brain was like, I'm done?
Yeah, it's I don't know if you're like a spiritual person at
I
all, but
am. I am.
okay.
Yeah.
I had got into meditating a lot, got into like,
Great.
movement and yoga, and I was
Great.
meditating by this frozen waterfall. It was March 7th, just literally 2.5 months ago.
Okay.
And that feeling of like I can become a man and I can love myself and other people would love me
Yeah.
entered during meditation. I finally accepted it. And at that time, this icicle broke off from this waterfall. It crashed down and just shocked every cell in my body. It's
Amazing.
like a
Amazing.
a cold glass of water has been thrown at me, and I've just been awake ever since. That was like
Wow.
the moment I was like, I'm here, I'm alive, and I want to spend every day like this.
I mean, that just gave me chills. I'm a very spiritual and I believe in all signs when they're coming. You better read them. Many people ignore them. I'm a believer that things are put in front of your face, timing, all of it, I believe. And I do believe that that is energies. I believe, I'm also a believer of what you put out, you get back. And
Absolutely.
you were putting stuff out there into the universe, and it was time for you to get this next. Oh, is that your kitty cat?
It is.
How cute. So I'm a big animal person too. But that being said, I that's a sign from God, the universe, whatever anybody out there
Absolutely.
wants to call it, you can call it, but it is most definitely, and also it's your sign. It might not be the sign for the other person, but for you, I think it's your sign.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. It's just been again March 7th of this year. It'll be 3 months on June 7th, and I can't wait till a year. 3 years. I'm excited for every day. I really wake up every day excited to live my truth and
Yeah.
to live in
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
biological destiny. I call it.
Yeah.
I guess I'm excited to not listen to the bullies anymore and just be me, you know?
Just I have so many bullies. I'm pretty sure you know it on all sides. I'm literally like here getting kicked from both sides. I don't know how it doesn't bother me. It just doesn't. Actually, a lot of therapy. I go to therapy and I really deal. But you know why it doesn't? It used to bother me. I used to get very like take it on, take all that stuff on, and just break down. But what happened was I had an awakening that said to me, dude, when you start speaking out and you will start to go above and beyond what other people are willing to do, you're just going to get it. And all it says to me is I'm doing the right thing. And like, you know what I feel here. I don't care what any adult does. I care that we are putting children into such a dangerous environment that it won't last. The thing
It's
is going
not
to,
sustainable. Yeah,
no,
it's
it
not
is not.
sustainable.
It is not.
I think that, we are going to look back on this time and look to people like you and say,
And
I
you,
say this all the
and
time.
you.
And I
Yeah,
say, maybe one day after hearing me 30, 40 times, you might just write me a message and say thanks.
that's
And
right.
that's all
That's
I
right.
would, that's all I want is like for you to realize that maybe those friends didn't have your best interests at
No,
heart.
they
Maybe
didn't.
that doctor really did care about the paycheck over your health more. Maybe just like if
It's
there is just
sick.
a possibility, then
It's
maybe
sick.
one day you'll message Buck or message myself and just say, "Hey, thanks a lot."
They might and they might not because sometimes people just can't get out of the delusion. And also, I'm going to say that I feel sorry for those people. I don't hate my bullies. I actually feel sorry for them because I believe that they have been misled. And
Sure.
there's followers and there's leaders, and that's a true thing. And I do think of myself as more of a leader than a follower. I've always been that way. Even when I was a kid, I wanted to be the captain of the soccer team. I wanted to, I wanted to be the leader of everything. I want to take control of this situation. So really, I think you're a leader as well. And it does take a certain type of person and not every person who detransitions is able to do what you do. And I feel for them and I don't expect them to do it, nor do I expect you to do it, by the way. I think what you're doing is a calling on some level.
Yeah, it definitely is hard being as transparent about something so intimate. You know, I think it's a lot
Yeah.
easier to do
Yeah.
your days of
Yeah.
girlhood like Dylan Mulvaney on TikTok because you know it's every day is Halloween. It's superficial. You know it's a dress up thing. You know, I mean,
Yes.
but it's a lot harder to say, hey, look, I effed up.
That's
Okay.
right.
But
Damn.
here's what I'm feeling like. This is just me without any guard.
That's
All
right.
my guards are down. It's a lot harder to do that. And you're right. I don't
Yes.
expect people, but I do want people to look at me and say, hey, maybe that could be my story.
Yes.
Maybe I'm not trans.
What it I saw there somebody I said something on one of your posts, and there it was a trans woman, of course, and she
Okay.
said, why am I saying she? Yeah, I'm just saying she. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. Okay, just for the context of this, because I'm so
Okay.
mad at them all. I don't even want. I want to just misgender the heck out of all of them, because I like when people call me she. Go right ahead. Like, it's so dumb, and it's just not. Doesn't I'm not giving that stuff any power. So anyway, this person, trans woman, was all, Nisa's anti-trans now and trying to get people. I'm like, hold up here. That is actually not true. I'm friends with this person, and if they actually were anti-trans or transphobic, which you loved, then they would not even have a conversation with me. By the way, and I
Yeah.
think what you're and I don't remember everything I said. I said that's just not fair. That's not fair to go after you. And then the person was like, of course, what did they say? I think they called me transphobic. And then I'm like, there it is. The disingenuous gaslighting rhetoric. No, they don't. Why do you think that people within the trans, I'm going to call it activism, because these are the activists. Why do
Sure.
you think trans activists are scared of you?
Uh, yeah, I think it's pretty easy to see that if you have somebody that has made it out of the cult, then the walls start coming
Excellent.
down. So yeah, be scared of me because I'm not going to lie and say that therapists told me that I could be a feminine boy and be happy. I'm going to tell the truth and say, look, they said, what do you like to do? Who do you
Yeah.
like to listen to? Yeah, I
Yeah.
like One Direction. Yeah, I like cheerleading. Do your friends like that? Are your friends girls? Do
Yeah.
you think you might
That's
be a
right.
girl? That's what was given to me. So if
Yes.
I actually am truthful about what professionals are are giving to people,
Hmm. Hmm.
then yeah, the
Hmm.
walls start coming down. The narrative maybe starts to shift into all this is crap. you know,
It
uh,
is. It
you
is.
know, gender dysphoria. I truly felt for a while. I did
Hmm.
feel like I was born in
Hmm.
the wrong body,
Hmm.
but my gender dysphoria was given to me. There was an inception
Oh,
point.
good
Okay.
point.
There was an inception point, and that point was getting pushed to the max. I mean, if you put someone through a waterboarding or torture, they're going to have a breaking point, right? And
That's
my
right.
breaking point from being bullying was going and seeking solace from professionals who I thought had my best interests.
Wow.
And that
Wow.
was where the inception point of maybe I am born in the wrong body first took its
Wow.
hold on me.
Wow. What a powerful statement. And I will have to agree with you, because back in the day, remember, I did this 32 years ago. Okay. I
Yeah,
basically can be your dad, by the way.
you are my
I'm your
trampa, as I
grandpa.
say.
So that being said, 32 years ago, it was nowhere near what you see now. They actually pushed back on you. They did not want you to transition. They wanted to make sure you were making the right choice. You had to
Yeah,
be an adult. Most of the time, all of us transition 25 years and older. They made you go through years of therapy. They weren't just giving it out. This gender affirmation therapy, meaning one session, and if the kid
yeah.
says trans, you're like, that, how can not anybody see through that
Sorry.
facade? But I think you're going to your point. You were given gender dysphoria. I was never given gender dysphoria. I like to call it sex dysphoria, to be honest with you, because the gender sex thing bugs the shit out of me.
Yeah,
I think we made a mistake by separating them. I do think they are the same thing. But that being said, I was pushed against. I was not told that. I was told I was a very masculine woman. I mean, you're a lesbian. And I probably am a very masculine woman, and I probably am a lesbian, and I probably am all those things. But that being said, you can't deny 32 years of this creating a better person. And that's why I want people to see you and I sitting next to each other, and our paths are not the same, and the way we
Yeah.
went through it are not the same. And I was not 16 and 17 years old but being told I was a certain way or being these things. That is
I remember it
disgusting.
was the exact opposite. You said that they were fighting
Yes.
back against you. I was fighting back against them and saying, I
Yes.
remember asking as a 17-year-old
Yes.
boy, how do you know I have gender dysphoria? I remember that.
That's
How do I
right.
know? And I remember
Yeah.
explicitly
Yeah.
this therapist telling me, um, do you feel like you have gender dysphoria? And I go, I guess. And she goes, you got it. I remember saying, that's it. Like, you have it. Like, there is no test.
Oh
And
my.
I'm like, and it struck me as kind of dumb then. And I'm a 17-year-old kid. But I'm like, this person's got degrees hanging on the wall. Like,
That's right.
they like, do they
That's
know
right.
me better than I know me? Hell
Uh,
no, they don't. Yeah.
No. Also, not only that, I do think kids are diagnosing themselves. I don't think the therapist is spending time
No,
enough
their
to.
friends are diagnosing themselves.
Totally,
Like,
they're not.
yeah,
They're not even going.
yeah.
You're right, because there's this whole other underlying thing that's happening with that language called the egg or something. Like you're just an egg and you're going to hatch and become a transgender. You're not, because I do believe that a lot of these kids just might be struggling with their sexuality, and they're sort of
Sure.
pushing
The
these.
scariest thing coming out of this right now is the whole no contact trend.
Oh,
I talk to parents all the time and I say,
oh,
if there's anything you could make a mistake on, is do not, like, always stay next to your kid. Do not ever leave them.
excellent, excellent,
That is
excellent.
because if they can make you believe you're trapped in the wrong body and then
Totally,
separate you from the people who
totally.
actually love you, then they can make you believe whatever. They can make you
Oh,
believe who to vote for,
that's right.
where to
That's right.
grocery shop. They can make you
That's right.
believe everything.
That is
So
so
do
true.
not leave your
Thank you for
family
doing. Thank you
ever.
for that. I say the same thing. You might not agree. I don't believe that trans kids exist. I believe these kids are struggling. They have friends group that are pushing them. Everything I believe. That's the one thing I tell the parents: do not disconnect from your kids. Find that middle ground with them. I believe you, but I'm not going to let you medical transition. Let's go to therapy together. Let's go hiking. But you're right. That is
Yeah,
100% I think one of the most important things that a parent can hear from you and I, coming from these different sides. Do not disconnect from your child, because that's what they want. The cult wants that, so then they could just snatch your kid, because they
yeah.
say that your parents won't understand you. Your parents, that is such cult like language and insanity, right? They want you to disconnect from your parents so they can bring you and control you.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
scary. It really is.
Oh my God, friend. It is just, it blows my mind. It actually blows my mind that, and also what blows my mind is that people just, um, every day, more and more of these young people are being indoctrinated into something that in the long run they will wake up, because everybody wakes up. It's
Yeah.
not, most people will wake up from being put into this kind of space. And I'm wondering, are people thinking about what's going to happen in, let's just give it 5 years? Do you think people care?
No, absolutely not. I want to, before I get
Wow.
to that, there's a comment that says find a middle ground with your kid. 1000%.
Great.
Like,
Great.
I love that. Like, ask your
Great.
kid, why do you not feel like a boy or a
Great.
girl? Do you want to wear this? Yeah,
Yes.
let's play
Yes.
around. Wear whatever you want to wear. Do you want to wear a different hairstyle?
Yes.
Don't call your kid by a different name. Maybe find a nickname.
There
I
you
like
go.
that.
There you go.
Don't call your
Love it.
friend Steve if her name is Danielle.
Right.
Like, call
Right.
her Danny. I love the name Danny. Let's do that.
Great.
Let's find that middle ground,
Ground.
because that shows to the kid that you're not leaving.
Yes. Yes.
You will get through this together.
Great.
And I love that. But yeah, do kids really realize 5 years down the road? No. And I remember looking at those stupid forms for my parents and myself, the informed consent forms. I remember that.
Wow.
And I'm like, I didn't
Wow.
read. I don't know what half of these words even mean. Like,
Wow.
I don't know what this. What is? I didn't even know what sterility meant as a
That's
16-year-old,
right.
17. Well, I don't know what
There we
that
go.
is.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, and how could a parent even talk to a kid and explain just how serious this is. Maybe when you're 30 years old and you want to have children. I made a post today.
Hmm.
I can't wait to be a dad one day, and I really
Hmm.
hope to be. And thankfully, that's a reality for me because I didn't prescribe to their prescriptions.
Yes. So you didn't take
So
any hormones, or did you take a small amount of
I
hormone?
took I took a small amount over those 12 years, here and there. I think the
Yeah,
longest stint maybe 2 or 3 weeks at a time.
great.
Again, but every time I would think my anxiety would get worse, everything would get worse,
Wow.
and I'm like, this
Wow.
isn't the answer. I would kind of pull back and then lie to that community of friends. Yeah, I'm taking hormones. Yeah, I'm doing
Yeah.
this, just to feel like part of the group.
Oh,
And yeah,
that just freaks me out because that's sort of like I can just picture it. It feels so indoctrinating. Like, are you taking the hormones? And like, if you're not taking the hormones, then why aren't you taking the hormones? And you know what I mean? Like, it just feels actually like a scary movie to me. And, again, I grew up in a whole different transitional environment where I wasn't ever sort of pushed into this and I wasn't gaslit from other people and I wasn't part of I mean, I wasn't part of a community like this. I was always a part of the LGBT community, right? Because I
mhm.
came from a gay female space into this, which a lot
I
of us
loved gay
did.
bars growing up. I'd sneak
Of
into
course,
them at 16, 17 years old. Like they were so fun. I danced,
totally,
in underwear and
totally.
cages and have a great time. And
Right on.
I was like, I think that make being gay like cool again.
Yes,
Because that was fun.
great,
Like I feel like
great,
if you are struggling with your sexuality, let's
great.
explore that.
Yes, and we're not talking about that, okay? We're not talking about maybe younger people dealing with their sexuality. I always say it in my story. I'm writing my book right now, and that's one of the
Love
things I'm
that.
really talking about is well, I'm writing it for the kid for not the kids, but parents and people to see. It's not a trans book, by the way. It's not about being trans. It's literally about being a human being and struggling and how we all have struggles in life. And I've had a hell of a struggle, let me tell you. But I came out on top of my struggle because I was willing to fight for
What's
my
it
life.
called?
I don't know yet. We haven't really come up with a
I
name. We
I
were
can't wait to read it.
Oh, we
That
were
sounds
thinking of all
awesome.
kinds of names because Buck rhymes with a lot of great things.
You
No,
know
but
what?
thank you. But I think
I can't wait to read that.
my point was I just struggled a lot as a young person, and I really want people to see that struggle is so important, and that if you don't try on, I struggled with my sexuality before I struggled. And did I ever struggle with my gender? I really think about it a lot, or my sex, right? I really struggled with my sexuality. And I grew up in the 60s and 70s when you were not allowed to be gay, right? You were not allowed to be a gay woman. That was like insane. And I think people forget about the struggle of sexuality. And now, if you notice, the whole conversation is about the struggle of gender.
Yeah. It's weird. I was never like a sexual person in high school. Like I was just kind of like unfiltered myself. Again, I was a
Yeah,
very flamboyant boy.
yeah.
But people told me that I was gay before I thought that, like
Mm,
just because of who I was. And now that I'm
yes.
stepping back, I'm thinking, wait, am I like, I don't even like, who do I even like, so like now that I actually know myself, I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe I could see myself with a woman and a dad one day,
Sure.
and there's no shame. It's almost like I thought it was like a shameful thing to become a man, like, and
I
become like
agree.
just a
Yeah.
straight white guy.
Who I don't even see you as like ultra feminine, just to be honest, not in any way,
Great.
shape, or form. I just see you, I don't know, just as a person. Even when you
I
were
love that.
living as trans, it wasn't like
Yeah.
I felt like you were overcompensating where some trans people, and on some level I did. I overcompensated. I really tried to make myself I call it hyper masculinity. I went to the gym and grew muscles and my beard and my tattoos, and I really tried to overcompensate for the lack of being born masculine. And that's a thing that a lot of trans people did. But that being said, I see that a lot today with the trans women and the dolls and like this hyper femininity kind of space. But I never saw that with you. I always felt like I just see you as you, which I think is
Yeah.
so beautiful and awesome. And I think that's why you can just sort of go from being in that space you were in to being, and I don't see anything like you're gay or straight or whatever, right? Like
Yeah.
if that makes sense. I don't see that.
Yeah, and I'm excited to like actually try and live without any forced labels. I think that I've never had
Great, great.
I never had the ability to do that as an adult before. So
Yes,
every day is like just a new way for me to learn a
great,
little bit about myself because I don't have anybody
great.
telling me who I am anymore.
I mean, you've been actually freed. You know
Yeah,
that? It's
I
like
know.
so beautiful and powerful. You've literally like clipped. I kind of will tell you that I feel the same way by leaving the trans community. I don't belong to that. I'm not trans. I don't. I felt free the minute I actually publicly announced it to the world. I am not part of the trans community. I'm not trans. That's not who I'm not a trans. I'm Buck, a female who lives as a male. So I feel sort of maybe the same way you do when you just sort of let go of that.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful when you don't let other people dictate your reality.
Yes.
And I think that
Yes.
if kids could get anything from our message, if young adults could get anything, is just listen to yourself, damn it. Like just
Great.
like do not
Great.
listen to your green-haired friends. Please, for 1 second, take a step back and remember who what you like to do. And that's another thing is like all my hobbies as a kid are coming back to me. I'm like,
Wow.
into like
Just
I'm doing
wow.
like cartwheels and gymnastics out in the field again. I'm
Oh
like
my
jumping around with joy. I'm like,
God.
all of those things I didn't have time for because I was
Yeah,
so, I
so
was just
true.
so entrenched in this lie.
It's so true. I mean, you make so many great points that I could say probably me too. I was entrenched in trying to please the world for many years of my early transition, right? Really, even though I did do it for myself, it's like I have to make sure people see me as a man, right? I have
Yeah,
to make sure if you misgendered me back in the day when it wasn't talked about, but it would get you. It would literally get you. It takes a lot of growth. That's why I tell you a young person cannot make these choices. I don't want to say you lost out because that's just not fair. I think you went through it to be a more powerful person. And I believe looking at things like that to struggle creates a more powerful, wisdomy person. And on some
yeah.
level, maybe you had to go through that, Nisa, to be this person today, to be a leader in
Yeah, I mean, I
creating.
can't say that I don't wish I had all of my 20s to just be myself. And now that I'm 30,
Yes,
I, I am looking forward to every single day. But I can't say I don't wish I had that time back to
of
just,
course.
to not live that lie. But I
Yes,
don't look at it as a waste anymore. And I do think
that's
that a lot of
that's
wisdom
it.
came from it. And you asked me earlier if I was happy. Of course I was happy during those times,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, but
yeah.
now I can experience happiness through the lens of reality.
Wow, that's a great statement. That's the book you should write right there. No, that's a great title for you.
I'll let you do your book first. You let me know how it goes.
Well, we need your book too because we need all of us coming up from different points of view. I mean, the
Sure.
bottom line is it didn't work out for you. It worked out for me. That's great. That's whatever the situation is. But what's important to me about these conversations is that we don't dislike each other and we don't put our own stuff on each other. And whether or
Yeah.
not I don't know. I don't feel like you disagree with what I have done. But at the same time, I don't disagree with the thing is, I don't disagree with detransitioners. I have a huge amount of detransitioned friends and I feel for you, but I don't know if this is going to be taken right or wrong, but I feel you somehow escaped a lot of what the young girls I deal with have not escaped, and they transition through medical and surgery and not to discount yours in any way, shape, or form. I think you also have that, but you have come out of it in a way that feels sort of more mature, if that makes sense. Because I'm talking to 16-year-old girls who
Hmm.
cut their breasts off and didn't realize and grew
But I thought that
mustaches.
that didn't happen, Buck.
My God, I'm laughing because I don't cry. No, I know. It's
I
actually
know.
absurd. It's absurd, friend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have I'm just so thankful that you're here every day doing what you're doing and unapologetically. Because there's days obviously I wake up I'm like can I make another video about
I
about
know.
this like
I know.
it's hard, it's very
I
hard,
know.
but
I know.
I do hope
I
that
know.
you know it doesn't matter. Like one of these videos is going to reach a mom or reach a dad
It
or
is.
reach a kid and
It
say like,
is.
look, maybe this could be my story too. And that's why I
It
keep
is.
on keeping on with the whole content creation thing, but
You've
it can
got
be
to.
exhausting.
But take time for yourself, like I do.
Sure.
I take time off. You've got to, and everybody understands that. They believe me. The room is blowing up with gratitude for you. No, I'm not kidding. It really is, and it does take a lot of sort of integrity and perseverance to step up to the plate with the hate, because the hate can be. I mean, just everybody picture. Remember the Frankenstein movie where the pitchforks and the town was? No, that's actually what happens. They come in droves at us.
Oh my goodness.
They would light us on fire if they could, But
Yeah.
it's some kind of evil. I'm not religious in that sense, but I do believe it's some evil thing that's coming from.
I mean,
that
I think we can
space.
call it sinister without calling it religious.
There you go, sinister.
I do think it's a sinister movement in order to control the youth and create lifelong patients, create lifelong voters, create lifelong customers.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not impossible for you and your community to realize, because we're truth seekers. We care about authenticity, and you can look at a kid being fed a bunch of lies and think, yeah, this kid will be a lifelong patient of Johnson & Johnson or something like that. And then, all of a sudden now they're a lifelong voter of these people.
That's right. That's right.
It's easy to see. Yeah.
That is a very, very good point right there. And it's so easy. Why do you think they always indoctrinate children in all these kind of movements? They indoctrinate because children are easily malleable. I have a kid. I am a dad. I have a 13-year-old kiddo. And believe me, I can watch how things change and how easy if he's on the internet too much. But I'm that hardcore dad, though. No TikTok. no. How long you on we're going out for a bike ride. You're not. I'm that. Take the trash out and pick up the dog shit. Like, we're not playing this game here. But
does he know all about your story and everything?
That's a great he knows I'm transsexual. Okay, we don't talk about it. He knows I'm transsexual. That's it. I'm just Buck. I mean, his actual biological dad is in our life. We're sort of like a three-way family, which is totally awesome. And that being said, he knows that trans community is fake. I say it to him all the time. I go, don't fall into that. And there's no such thing as non-binary. So now he's been sort of told that he looks at me, I'm the real trans. That's what he says. I'm the real trans. And I'm like, exactly. But we never talk about it because that's not the reason why I transitioned, right?
Yeah.
I didn't transition
Absolutely.
To be known as trans.
So what do you think about like people like Jeffree Star and stuff like that? You think he's good for
Jeffree Star?
Yeah.
But not Jeffrey Dahmer. I mean, Jeffrey Marsh.
Oh my God, that guy's a lunatic.
He's a lunatic. But Jeffree Star's been around for 30 years.
I love that guy. Yeah.
He's honest. He's always been honest. He was the one who was like going right after those non-binaries because he's dealt with a lot of shit as well. From I love him because I think he doesn't say he's a woman. He says he's a man, and he dresses up like a woman, and whatever that means. That's what we've lost. We've lost this. All the drag queens are transitioning to women. I'm like, then you're not a drag queen anymore. You're now trans. Like, what's happening to everybody? They're being misguided about what transsexualism is.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, we could have the conversation that it's a cool thing to do, but also it's a way for you to like be part of the zeitgeist, be part of the culture, and like if you're, it almost is like it makes you like intellectual or something. Like, oh, like my daughter is non-binary, and I'm now going to study at Columbia, but I identify as this, and it's like, okay. You can come sit with us. You can come have a cup of coffee with me.
Yes.
But you're a white guy. Oh. What? No, you can't come to this school. You can't
It's so true.
You better hurry up and identify as something different because if you're not a minority, get the hell out of here.
It's so true. Now I am that white guy, by the way, which I think is so hilarious because I'm actually female. So I'm like, okay, sure. I'm like a Trojan horse on so many levels. Like, it's just like, I'm just watching all of the clown show. The trans community is fake. It's nonsensical. And you're hearing that from someone who did this a long ass time ago. I traveled the world changing laws so that people like myself could just live in peace and walk the world. This is not trans. This is an ideological space that has captured captured young people because they have a master plan. Let's just be real here. They have a master plan. Not sure what it is, but it's creepy. And these people are creepy weirdos who are.
It's very creepy.
It's creepy. And they're literally indoctrinating young people. And of course, young people hate me because I'm that old guy. Sit down and shut up. I'm like, I'm the old guy
Get
who
off
will
my
never
lawn.
sit down. Sorry?
Get off my lawn.
I know, totally. I'm like, nope, I'm the old guy that will continue to tell you. Just shut up. But
Yeah.
oh, thanks for spending the time with us today, Nissa. You're a
Yeah.
beautiful human being, and
Thank you.
I put your IG in here if you want to. You have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's at Neeza Powers, the same as my
Okay, I'll put that on the thing. but-
Instagram. Yeah, thank you.
yeah, please follow him and support him because his voice will
Thank you.
help us get the children. I want to actually send you some email about creating a camp.
I love the no service. That sounds
I love
awesome.
it. It just clicked. I'm like, no, we have to
I'm
do
in
something.
I'm in the middle of nowhere in northern Vermont. There's plenty of space to do it out here.
Isn't
so.
it like super hardcore, like woke liberal out there? Like,
No, that's what people think is like,
Yeah.
the Burlington in Vermont, which is like our biggest city. Yeah, there's a big college and
Yeah.
it's super liberal, but like
Yeah.
the rest of Vermont is just a bunch of like rednecks in flannel running around trying to like hurdle,
My people.
herd their cattle. Like, it's I don't know if they vote. I mean, I don't know, like there's not many people. You got to realize my entire town has 734 people in it. So like it's
no, dude, I'm telling you, that's the place to do it.
Yeah.
We'll talk more, but I do. I'm going to tell you, everyone's going to be totally into it. I think I could get us like financing. I'm not even
I'd
kidding.
love to. Yeah, I mean, I'm a ski instructor.
Oh
I'm a
my God.
I'm a licensed mountaineer. So you let me know.
I will. I'm not kidding. I'm just, my ideas come to me and I'm like, no, this is what we need to do. This is what we need. Because you care about the kids. That's all that matters to me. You care about the
Yeah.
kids. And if we don't really get these kids, also all your experience means something to me. So with that, everybody, thanks for joining us today. Thanks for giving Nissa tons of love. Follow him all over the platforms. Let's raise his voice up higher. And then I'll see you guys all on the next one. I have a great video coming out tomorrow and let's just keep fighting back. I'm getting demonetized. This one will probably get demonetized. I don't care. You're not shutting me up. Who cares? Okay, you guys have a great rest of your day and I'll talk to you later.